Season 6 for Modern Warfare 2 is officially here, and this is the final season of the game. With this new update, we got a ton of weapon changes, buffs, and nerfs, and today, I'll be showing you guys the best class setups to use. And make sure to stick around until the end of the video where I show you guys a secret class setup that I did not expect they were going to buff. And also, guys, right here on the screen is a picture of my cat. If y'all don't drop a like on the video for my cat, you guys are messed up. First weapon we're gonna be checking out is the TR-76 Geist, which is the brand new assault rifle that was introduced in the Season 6 update. And let me tell you guys, this is easily one of the best assault rifles to use right now. Starting off with the barrel, we have the BRUEN BRIDLE Heavy Barrel. Very strange name, but you get recoil control, damage range, bullet velocity, which are all really good categories for an assault rifle. There's honestly a few good options here when it comes to the barrels. Honestly, this one is really good. Also, the long barrel is fairly good too, so you definitely have a ton of options for this weapon. Tuning on that though is going to be aim walking speed as well as damage range, just to kind of maximize that damage. It's always good to have that for an assault rifle. Moving on to the magazine, I love having the 45 round mag. Now, there is actually an attachment here called the Geist single tap mod. I have yet to use this, but it changes the gun to semi-auto mode, so kind of interesting, but I think it has more damage because it's a single fire gun. Either way, just to be safe, definitely throw on the 45 round mag. Moving on to the rear grip, we have the STIP 66 grip just for more recoil control. This thing definitely has a little bit of recoil to manage, so I like having this on. If you think you can control the recoil, you don't need this attachment, probably throw on this one, the tactical grip tape for sprint to fire speed or ADS speed, but we're gonna stick with this one. The tuning on that's gonna be recoil steadiness as well as aiming idle stability. Moving on to the comb, I love the FSS HARDTOP comb, which gives you sprint to fire speed and ADS speed. Majority of the time, assault rifles are on the slower side, and I like to be just fast and snappy when I'm playing MW2. Also gonna tune this for aim walking speed, so you can strafe back and forth faster, but then also ADS speed, just to maximize on that ADS time. And lastly, for the stock, the Demo Tac Pad. This will help out with crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and ADS speed, just to kind of give this gun a little bit more movement, and just give this gun a little bit more maneuverability. And lastly, you're gonna tune that for ADS speed and aim walking speed. I'm honestly a huge fan of this new AR. It almost reminds me of like the Ram 7 from Modern Warfare 2019, but it has great damage range. I really love the iron sight on this gun in particular. I feel like it's a very just clear sight, and yeah, definitely try out this class. Next up here, we have the ISO 9 SMG, which is a brand new submachine gun introduced in Season 6. I wasn't sure how to feel about this gun because we already have the ISO 45 SMG. But starting off with the barrel, we have the 7-inch EX Raptor V2. This will give you ADS speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. Now, the ISO 9 is basically a more SMG version of the ISO 45. This gun has a very fast fire rate, great maneuverability, and this barrel honestly will kind of just capitalize on those attributes. Now, you can rock, you know, the 16-inch, which is the longest barrel in the game. It will kind of make it into a more long-range SMG. You can also rock this barrel as well, which I used to rock on the ISO 45. It's another great option, but I'm gonna tune this 7-inch barrel for aim walking speed to strafe back and forth faster, as well as damage range. Next up for the muzzle, we actually have the AVR T90 Comp, which will help out with horizontal and vertical recoil control. This thing definitely has slight recoil to manage, so this is a pretty important attachment in my opinion. We're also gonna tune that for recoil stabilization and recoil control, just to maximize on that recoil control. Next up, a brand new attachment for the ISO platform is the 50 round drum, and like I said, this SMG has a very fast fire rate, so you're gonna be running out of bullets pretty quickly, so I think the 50 round drum is pretty vital. Next up for the rear grip, the A30 Stout. This will help out with recoil control. Once again, I told you guys, it definitely has a lot of recoil to manage because of that high fire rate. You're also gonna tune that for recoil steadiness as well as sprint to fire speed. And lastly, I like to throw on the CRONEN Mini Pro for the optic. I just feel like the iron sights on this gun isn't really that great, but it's honestly up to you. But I'm gonna tune this optic here for more ADS speed. Honestly though, man, I think this is one of the best SMGs right now in MW2. I was a little skeptical at first just because we already have the ISO 45, but this is honestly a very good close range weapon. Any type of small map, or if you bring this on shipment, it will absolutely dominate. The next weapon here on our list is the FR Avancer, aka the FAMAS. And this weapon keeps popping up, and within the Season 6 update, they actually buffed this gun and increased the damage range. So starting off with the barrel, the longest barrel you can get, and that is the long bore barrel. You get damage range, hip fire accuracy, as well as bullet velocity. In my opinion, this is definitely the best best barrel for this weapon. We're also going to tune that for aim walking speed. Once again, strafe back and forth faster, but then also capitalize on that damage range. Next up, I love to use the FJX FULCRUM Pro. This will basically make it so you have more recoil control with that vertical and horizontal recoil control that it has on this attachment. We're also going to tune that for recoil stabilization as well as recoil control. This gun definitely has a lot of recoil to manage as well, so this attachment will really help you. Next up, I like to throw on the 45 round magazine just to have more ammunition in the clip. You can take out multiple enemies in front of you. Moving on to the rear grip, the RMT grip. This will help out with sprint to fire speed, ADS speed, just making this assault rifle a little bit faster. And make sure to tune that for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed as well. And lastly for the comb, the FR GIGA, which once again give you sprint to fire speed and ADS speed. This is definitely a slower assault rifle, so this will really help out the gun and make it a little bit faster to use. We're also going to tune that once again for aim walking speed as well as ADS speed. I'm almost positive in the Season 5 update, they also buffed this gun. And now with the Season 6 update, they buffed it once again. In my opinion though, it's definitely feeling very, very good. They increased the damage range, so the farther the enemy, the more damage range you'll actually have. This assault rifle though isn't the best at very, very long range engagements like that. So try to keep yourself in the medium to close ranges for this gun. The next weapon on our list is the MINIBAK SMG, and this is a weapon that kind of came out of left field. I didn't expect it, but for the Season 6 update, they actually gave this gun a massive buff. So starting out with the laser, we have the FSS Ole V laser, which will give you ADS speed, aiming stability, and sprint to fire speed, just making this gun extremely fast. You're also gonna go ahead and maximize the speed on this attachment, tune that for sprint to fire speed and ADS speed. Moving on to the barrel, we have the Bach 9 barrel, which is definitely my favorite one out of the only two, but you get damage range, hip fire accuracy, and bullet velocity. You're gonna go ahead and tune that for recoil steadiness and just maximize that damage range while you're at it. Next up for the muzzle, the FTAC Castle Comp, one of my favorite attachments, vertical recoil control, horizontal recoil control, very simplistic, but very needed. We're also gonna go ahead and tune that for ADS speed as well as recoil control. Next up, moving on to the magazine, and an attachment that I feel like really helps out this gun tremendously is the MINIBAK Grip Mag. It's the only magazine attachment for this gun, but you get aiming idle stability and recoil stabilization, just helping that recoil out once again. And lastly for the stock, the VLK stockless attachment. All right, you get ADS speed, sprint speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. Amazing, amazing attributes. You lose out on some recoil control and aiming stability, but that's why we use the other attachments to bring that back up. I did not expect them to increase the close distance damage as well as the damage range for this gun. This is a gun that I honestly haven't used in a very long time, but it has a large magazine. It has very, very little to no recoil. You bring this on a very small map or shipment, 64 bullets in the clip, you will literally take out so many enemies in front of you. Definitely a fun SMG to rock, and I'm kind of happy that they went ahead and buffed it. Next up on our list is the CRONEN Squall Battle Rifle. And with the Season 6 update, they went ahead and increased the damage range on this gun. Starting off with the barrel, we have the HR 6.8 barrel, which will give you damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control, hip fire accuracy, a ton of pros with this barrel. So definitely use it. It pairs up very well with the CRONEN Squall. Also gonna go ahead and tune that for aim walking speed and damage range. Next up for the muzzle, the Lockshot KT85. Once again, vertical and horizontal recoil control. This gun definitely has some recoil to manage, so honestly a very important attachment. We're gonna tune that though for ADS speed as well as recoil control. Moving on to the magazine, we have the 30 round mag. Now I think by default this gun has only 20 bullets in the clip. It is a battle rifle. It acts like an assault rifle, but it's not quite there. So having only 20 bullets in the magazine is pretty damn bad. Next up on the rear grip, the XTEN grip for that sprint to fire speed, that ADS speed, just making this very heavy hitter gun a little bit faster. We're also gonna tune that for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed as well. And lastly for the optic, the CRONEN Mini Pro, I just feel like this gun definitely needs an optic, just a very clear picture, a very precise picture, and this will help out a lot. And finally, you're gonna tune that for just a little bit of ADS speed. I really didn't expect them to increase the damage range for this battle rifle. Before Season 6, it was already a pretty damn good gun. The only downside about this gun is that it definitely has some recoil to manage, but if you can definitely manage that recoil, it kills super fast. And moving on to the last weapon of the video, the SAB-50 Marksman Rifle. This is easily one of my most favorite weapons in MW2. I have so much fun using it, and they also gave this thing an absolutely insane buff. So for the optic, we actually have the SPX-80, which is kind of just your standard sniper scope for this marksman rifle. So the tuning on that, we're just gonna do some ADS speed. Moving on to the laser, the Corio LAZ laser for that ADS speed, as well as aiming stability. For the tuning on that, it's gonna be sprint to fire speed and ADS speed. We're basically maximizing the ADS speed on this marksman rifle, making it super fast. Moving on to the bolt, we have the FSS ST87 bolt, which will give you more rechambering speed. Next up for the rear grip, the SCHLAGER match grip. Once again, sprint to fire speed and ADS speed. You're also gonna tune it for that as well. And for the last attachment, moving on to the stock, the XRK SPECTER mod, which will give this thing a huge buff. ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, it's kind of insane. They improved the ADS time, they increased the far damage range, and I'm almost positive as well in the Season 5 update, they also buffed this gun. It's definitely a marksman rifle, but you can turn it into probably one of the fastest sniper rifles in the game. If you're looking for just a very, very fast sniper, just a gun that you can quick scope with, get those one-tap kills, it's so fun. Anyways, guys, that is the Season 6 class setups that I'm bringing you guys today. I missed a weapon that you want to see me cover, just comment down below. Subscribe if you guys are brand new. The final season of MW2 is officially here, and we're on our way to MW3.